Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me. And
Tristan, Willborn, @gmail.com.
that's not actually your email address. No, you can email it. Okay, so Tristan is doing his very first episode with me. So for those of you that don't know, Tristan and I have done shorter videos for Facebook. Here, just off and on, we just pick different topics and we talk, and they're really fun. And a lot of you that do watch them always tell us how much you love them. So those are fun. Okay, so all right, so I've asked Tristan to join me today. So first, why don't you tell for those people that don't know haven't watched you on Facebook, tell us a little bit about you.
All right, my name is Tristan. I am 12 years old. I am male. I have a Great Dane in the background if you can't see it.
Yep. For those of you just listening, you might want to watch that.
Yeah.
Come in.
Anyways,
Yeah. A Great Dane and a Dachshund. Yeah. So you're in 7th grade. You cross country runner, the choir singer. You're just all around fun guy. You love video games.
Ready?
Yes. So I asked Tristan to join because the topic that I did last week's episode on was, and you don't know this. So Tristan's going in this blind. I didn't even tell him what we're talking about because it's just more fun this way. So the topic of last week's episode was navigating difficult conversations with kids. So what does that even mean to you? Like when you hear me say that?
Well, when you say navigating, I think of like a map, like navigating like a road. But like,
navigating difficult conversations with
difficult conversations with kids. That's difficult because kids, we think differently than adults. So like, adults may try to approach the situation different than like a kid would. Like if you say something to your kid might take it the wrong way. That could start like tension or fights between the people.
Okay, so why is that even a topic? Like, why do you think that that's an important topic for parents that they would even be interested in?
Because some parents, when they have like those difficult talks, they kind of go into it without like planning stuff out, and then they like, yeah, I don't mean like blueprints and everything, but like you need to like think about something before you say it. And they go in and they say something, and they could like maybe hurt the kid's feelings, or maybe it just comes across as wrong or rude to kid. Because we're kids, we also have feelings. Also, we can see straight through stuff. So if you lie to a kid, it's like if you lie to me, I'm gonna know, even though I might not bring it up again, and I might forget about it in like the next few days. But I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, and you'll remember it later. Yeah. So, what are some difficult conversations that you think parent to kid? And if you don't know, we can brainstorm something.
Maybe talking about like like if you lose a relative or like you lose a pet, when you come of age.
I don't know how to say this. Personal,
come on, in the light.
Yes. Okay, what else?
Maybe just like getting in trouble or something. There's like ways to approach it.
I mean, we've had to have a lot of difficult conversations with you over the years. We've lost pet. We've had to move.
I've done things.
We've done dumb things. So essentially that is we busted you like, hey, guess what? We know this thing you did and we're about to have to talk about it, and it's not even be a pleasant conversation for anyone. We've also had to have talks about like hormones, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. We had to all kinds of stuff. Anyway, right. So we've had to have lots of conversations. So when you say that parents need to approach things in ways that are good for kids, obviously, are all kids the same?
No, all kids are different. That's why it's like having a good connection with your kid is also important in the situation. Because like if you don't spend time with the kid, if you're always at work, I get some jobs take a lot more work. But if you're a surgeon and you're on the job a bunch, or you're moving hearts from down here to here, whatever. Anyways, that could be difficult. Like find like a time to spend like quality time with your kid. That could lead to like it makes it hard to talk to your kid about like important things, because then just like that bond there.
So it's easier, what you're saying, I think, is it's easier to have a conversation about something difficult if you have a good connection with your kid.
And also, it's like building up to it. You don't like walk in on your kid while they're like studying for like a test, and you're like, okay, grandpa's dead.
Yeah, you should
You
probably
gotta build up to it. Yeah, ease into it. Thank you. Don't like walk into their room, like tear thrown faces.
Also, I was thinking the topic of a difficult conversation can not be interpreted the same by both the parent and the child. So, for example, if you as the child are going through something that's upsetting you, but I don't think it's a big deal, like what if you're really upset because you spent a lot of time playing a game and you just lost?
This has happened
Before. And the upset, like you will have big emotions about like, oh, I just wasted all this time and I lost. And I'm gonna be like, it's just a game. So I've had to learn how to read the room, how to know if something, and vice versa, right? Like kids, you have to learn when to be direct and honest versus when to be compassionate. But as parents, I think that, the bigger responsibility is for us because we're the ones that are more in control of emotions, or at least we try. So if you're going through something that I don't understand, what are some things that you think, what good advice you have for parents who have going through something like?
Well, you're gonna want to try to like don't like yell at them. You want to try to figure out what's going on before like you do anything. Just like if you assume that your kid's like, for like let's say I'm playing like a game on my phone, right? And I get a text about something. Like if you just interpret, and this is like an example, if you interpret that it's about the game, then taking away the game might not always be okay, let me back up. So like, don't assume that something like if I get like. Don't assume that it's because of the game, because like, you don't know that it's because of the game. It could be because of the text, but you don't.
Got it. No, I get what you're
Try
saying.
to like break it down to them.
No, I get it. So you're saying always ask, get more information before you react.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is the game. So what if you have a big explosive reaction because you just lost a game? There's two parts to it. There's understanding why you're so upset, and there's managing the behavior, right? So I can be compassionate and be like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like that's that, but also calm down, right? But also don't yell. But also you don't need to punch the couch, right?
Oh yeah. And so, but I stopped punching the couch. I've taken to screaming into pillows.
Look, I get it. I played games with you, so I know that there is a lot of frustration. I also know you're 12 and you don't always have to control yourself. But for the most part, you do a good job. But there are times where, like, what we've had to do that's really frustrating is, hey, we gave you too much freedom with your game. You've been playing for way too long. Now we've crossed into this point where your mood is also impacted by this, like, overstimulation, like you've just been playing for too long. So your tolerance for frustration is lower. And so now you're angry because you lost the game or something happened. And you're really tired and you're overstimulated. And I'm having to figure out how to manage all of that. When all I want to do is throw you through the window because you're overreacting. So I have to stay calm. It's not going to help if you're yelling at your game. It's not going to help for me to now start yelling at you. Right? So I have to control that. But I also have to put in certain things ahead of time and not allow you to get to the point where you've spent 7 hours playing a game. Guilty. Guilty of that. My husband and your dad and I are guilty of that because sometimes time goes by, we're all hanging out, we're having a lazy Saturday, and you play for too long. Before I know it, you're kind of like, just disastrous. So we have to be like constantly working together. This relationship, right? Now, there are certain parts of this that are my responsibility, and there are certain parts of this that are your responsibility. So what about when you want to talk about something that's difficult? Like if your feelings got hurt about something or something happened at school, or maybe you did something and you want to confess all your deepest
Okay, so the last one, it never really happens.
Okay. So are there any examples of where a kid could need to initiate a hard topic?
Yeah, there's going to be times like that, but there's also going to be times where we're going to be like trying to hide something until if we have a helicopter and we're trying to hide something in that helicopter, there's going to be times where we're like, driving until we ran out of fuel and then we crash and burn to the ground. I just hear where I'm going with that.
Yeah. So basically, you're stubborn.
Yeah.
Children can be really like you think if you think that you lie about and you stick to the lie because you somehow in your mind think that you're going to get away with it, even though. So basically, we're advising parents to be really skilled in the art of detecting and approaching dishonesty. So if you're doing something bad, if I come in screaming and yelling at you, is that going to help? So kind of connect us back to your earlier point. Not only do we want to have a good connection with our kids to be able to talk about hard things, we also don't want to damage a relationship by handling something bad. So what do you think? What's your opinion of parents that yell at?
Please stop. It doesn't do anything but like either scare us or make us more. Like if you're yelling at me, like if I'm doing something, you come in and you're like yelling at me. My first reaction, I never do this. I don't think I ever do. First reaction, yell back. Take the fire.
Do I yell at you?
No.
Did I raise my voice at you?
I think I can remember one time.
I probably yelled at you before.
Once.
But I've yelled my
like-
voice. I'm sorry, I've raised my voice. Like I have a very strong.
But there's a difference. Probably talk to your kids about this. There's a difference between raising your voice and yelling because for kids, like until like, for kids, yelling and raising your voice it's like the same thing in the song. Like we interpret like, you could be like talking like, hey, and we're gonna be like, wow, you're screaming.
Right. Building the relationship, talking about the difference, maybe giving your kid an example. This is what my firm mom or dad voice sounds like, and screaming, right? And so being able to give examples, but also, what happens if, like, let's say a parent loses control, yells. What should happen? What would be a good way to heal through that? Clean. Okay.
Maybe like trying to like apologize first off, and then trying to like bond with your kid. Like you gotta apologize it, and then you gotta build it back. Like what?
Yeah.
You can't just like apologize and then like if you have like if this is like the bond between like me and my mom. Yeah. Okay, so let's say you yell at me. It's gonna like damage this. Like it's gonna damage it, right? But is it the same? Is it the same paper towel? No, it's not the same. What means it's the same paper towel? Does it look the same? Is it ever gonna go back to being the same?
Yes, no, it's me.
So those things stay with us. So you also gotta remember that, like, kind of like keep in mind if kids are gonna lose their temper, and so are adults. But keep in mind that like for kids, like if you were to yell at me, you would like. This is our relationship, or crumble it, and then you could like apologize and you could do a bunch of things for me, but it's still gonna be like this, not gonna be a brand new paper towel.
Okay. No, then does that mean you can never get better?
Well, you can get better, but you're gonna always remember it. I mean, like you can get better. Like the inside of this paper towel is always gonna remember that it got yelled at, that it got crumbled.
Yeah, piece of paper.
Yeah.
You can smooth it.
Yeah,
like as flat as it said before. Got it. Simple.
Interesting.
And so basically, what you're saying is, do your best. Like, yes, you can do damage. All right. You can do damage control, but it's never going to be as good as if you just don't do it. Right. So if you yell at your kid and you go and apologize and you say, hey, I'm really sorry for that, that's helpful. But really what we should all aim to do is not yell at our kid.
Yeah.
So, and I always give people the explanation of like, if you walked into work and your coworker made you mad, you're not going to yell at your coworker. So why do we yell at our kids? Why do we yell at our family members? People think that it's okay. They give them, what are you doing? People give themselves permission to be more ugly with their words and their tone to family members. It's not nice, but they don't do it with non-family members. So it's always important to remember that kids, family members deserve the same respect, right? So now let's say that kids get into, let's say if there's something going on, and I do have to break some hard news to you. I'm
Can you like go to depth?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an example. So, like, let's say something happened, like someone died. So let's say someone died, and I'm sad. Yes. Let's say it's a family member.
That. Oh wait,
Dude, this is an example.
no, that's okay. Let's just work.
What's a family member that you and I are both close to, for example, and I'm really sad to tell you this news, but I also am trying to deal with my own emotions. Would it be okay if a parent cries a little?
Of course, that's completely respectable. But try to like because like if you come in my room and you're crying, I'm gonna instantly be like, what's happening? I'm like, I go into like, if you walk in my room like crying, I'm gonna be like, oh my goodness, and then
Panic.
yeah, I'm gonna panic. So that's why it's also important for like maybe calm down and then try to come talk. Like you need to soften your heel every night, but maybe try to like come down,
Like, collect yourself.
yeah, collect yourself and then go talk. Because like if you come into like, if I'm sitting on my bed reading or whatever, and you come into my room crying, that's gonna instantly be like a panic lockdown mode. Like, I'm gonna get scared. I'm not gonna want to listen to anything. I'm gonna be like, wait, whatever. I'm gonna listen to the details, and then it's gonna like pandemonium.
Okay, and so what if I have to tell you news you don't like, or news that makes you, let's say it's news you don't like, right? If, let's say, we are going to have to move, and you're very angry about it. Do I need to prepare myself before I come in and give you bad news?
Yeah, so okay. Prepare yourself. Because especially like with kids, they're gonna like they're gonna react really hard to it. Because I mean, like you build like a stable connection with all your friends, and then you're like moving. You're just like,
even if it's what's best for you, you're still allowed to feel a certain way about it.
It's gonna brace yourself because there's gonna be a lot of emotion.
So now there's still like, you are still, raised you to be respectful. So there's a limit. So if you become disrespectful, I'm going to tell you to stop. But if you need to be mad at me for a little bit, then that's what's going to, right? Then you should.
I think you also have to. It's not always about the parent. Like it's if there's any kids watching this, I'm sure. No, it's like. Anyways, so it also maybe it's for the best. Maybe they're not telling you something that like you do need to move for some other reasons. So it's not always good to be mad at like your parent. Instead, you could, try to, you could be mad, but not like try not to like dose them to like not, know.
Wait, going off of that, what's your opinion about parents? Obviously, there's certain things parents can't explain to kids, whether it's because it's too confusing, it's too like just a maturity thing, or just we don't want kids to have that information. But what's your opinion about parents who don't explain anything versus parents who over-explain?
Because then the kid's gonna be like, well, you don't tell me anything, so then when something bad happens to me, and you ask what's wrong, I'm gonna be like, no, nothing. I'm not telling you anything. It's gonna bite you and okay,
yeah,
it's gonna come back and get you. So that stable connection is gonna go like this.
Oh, you're being very interesting. Okay, so basically, share. It's important to, even if you can't give the whole explanation, like we're moving because we don't have money type of thing, right? Or it could be, hey, because we so-and-so needs a different job and we're going to have to move because it's better for our family. Like versus, well, this is the decision we've made and you're just going to have to suck it up, right? But also there are parents who overshare and they tell their kids way too much stuff about it. Their emotions
equally as bad as not telling them. Why? Because oversharing a lot can make the situation go from, oh, this we're moving, oh dang it, to we're moving. It's complete chaos. Because if you overshare, like let's say like we're out of money, right? And we have a job offer somewhere else. Then if you tell your kid that we're out of money, the kid's gonna panic. He's gonna he or she is gonna sell them. I mean, everybody's gonna have a different reaction. But like me, if that happened, I'd like take like whatever we have around the household and like walk outside of it. You want it? Yeah. Thank you. Please purchase.
Sell stuff. So you would absorb the parents' stress.
Mm-hmm. And then that makes it hard for like because grades for kids follow you everywhere. Right?
Right.
Okay, thank you. So it could be, maybe look, you stop focusing on school in the last couple of weeks that you're there. That can do a lot. A few weeks of school, not a few weeks of not paying attention in school can be like grade ending.
So you're saying the stress of it would impact your ability.
It could impact a lot of things. It can impact sports, school, stress levels, life. Protect you can like
Friendships,
impact his paper challenges.
What's with you in this paper down? And okay, so I'm trying to think if there are any other parts of hard conversation. So okay, how about this? You are going to get upset. I think. I've made you mad plenty. Your dad and I both had to make you mad. Like we've told you plenty of stuff you didn't like. Even if it's something as simple as, hey, you're not going to be allowed to play your game for the rest of the day, and that makes you mad. Versus, hey, we have to have a really uncomfortable conversation about this thing, but uncomfortable, or we have to move, whatever, right? And so there have been plenty of times where we've had to have uncomfortable conversations, but if I'm scared to hurt your feelings, then what's going to happen?
If you're hurt my feelings, then it's gonna go to like a connection issue, because then you're gonna know, like, if you feel guilty about like not telling them stuff, eventually it's gonna lead back to those connection issues.
But also from a parenting perspective, if I avoid hard conversations with you because I don't want to upset you, or
then you're not telling me stuff, and that leads back to not telling them anything.
Right?
It's all connected.
But also that would make me not a strong parent. Like, I've told you this before, but I tell kids and parents when I work with them together, I say, listen, if your mom's not making you mad, if your dad's not making you mad at some point, then they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
Because by parenting you, we upset you sometimes. We don't do it on
you have
purpose.
to do what's right. Like, if I wanted candy, right? If you let me have candy every day, obviously there's going to be things that happen. Maybe like bad things. Maybe, I don't even know.
Like if I let you eat all the candy you want every day, all day, then you're going to get sick.
Yeah, and I'm going to be, but see, you're not making me mad, which is a showing of, if I ask for candy, you say no. That's gonna probably tip me off.
So you keep mad?
Yeah. Tick me off, thank you.
For sure.
TICK. Anyways, yeah, anyways, so that could, like, but like, you telling me no, it's still, you're fulfilling your job. You're making me, you giving me, that way you don't get sick. That you're making a choice that's good for me, whether I see it in the moment or not. Like, I'm gonna look back in the future and be like, oh yeah, I was about to get like prostate cancer or something. Hell no,
We're dead.
that's the only cancer I know.
Okay. So, I'm trying to think. Okay, so keeping this from going too long, is there any other advice you want to give parents about how to have hard conversations with their kids that we haven't already covered?
I think I just want to wrap this up a little bit. I just want to go back and emphasize on what I said at the start. Think about it before you say it. Like, it doesn't have to be like I said, it doesn't have to be like a bunch of like written down like scripts, like quotations. Keep going. No cards. Anyways, or sticky notes. Anyways, just like give it some thought before you just react to it. Like, if something happens, okay, just give it some thought before you say something, because then it could, you don't want to just rush into something. You don't want to take too long on something. That way, you want to get it done as soon as possible, but you also want to give it some thought. That way you don't upset. That way you don't get upset, or that way you don't upset your kid.
So you're never going to be perfect, but make an effort. Try. Be what's one of my favorite words? Respect. That one. Intentional. Be intentional. Do it on purpose. Whatever you're going to do it on purpose. Because if you don't give it, that something's important to you, but you don't put in even just a little bit of thought how to do it right, then you're doing it in the way that it needs to be done, right? Okay, so thank you for your perspective. And maybe we'll have you do another one on a different, you can put your turkey hat on. Halloween? Sorry, Thanksgiving. Yeah. Should have had you do it this whole time. Let's make it work.
Give me the thumbnail.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, if you want to see more of our fun videos, we have lots of short ones. We're on Facebook, so make sure follow us. I'll put all the links in the show notes. Bye.